Today we're going to have a look at this slightly more commercial grade ozone generator unit. You saw in my previous videos how to make a DIY ozone generator with some glass and some adhesive foil. This one is obviously pre-built and built for purpose. Now this one has a fan, a stainless steel case. It's got a countdown timer so that you can set it to turn on for a certain period of time once you turn the power on. It's got an indicator LED on the front and then a mains switch. The whole thing's quite chunky, reasonably well built, and we've got an IEC connector on the back and a handle on the top. Now this one was bought from Banggood. I think I paid $80 for it with a discount code. You can buy them for a whole range of prices, and I'll put a link to a few of these devices down in the description below. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, these ozone generators have all kinds of uses, from odour removal through to sterilisation of rooms. Now, they have an advantage over using an ultraviolet tube for sterilising, in that they can get into gaps where the ultraviolet light wouldn't normally be able to. So ultraviolet lights are excellent for sterilisation, but they do need direct access to the ultraviolet that's being emitted from the lamp, whereas the ozone will penetrate all of the areas where it can get to, as it is in gaseous form. So let's have a little look to see what's inside here. I'm not expecting a great deal, to be honest, and it is quite empty. So what we have is on the back panel, other than some looks like acid or flux damage to this particular one, we've got the IEC connector. All of the connections have been covered with a celastic type material. That is primarily so that the ozone doesn't start attacking the metals. So that's why stainless steel has been used in the construction of this, because stainless steel is less reactive to the ozone that is generated. So we can see that it is properly earthed to the chassis, and then the mains goes straight to the front panel, onto the rocker switch, and then it looks like it goes straight onto the power LED and then into the timer relay type device. The actual part that generates the ozone is this high voltage transformer, which we've got at the bottom, and then two ozone generator plates. And then we have airflow going through the device. It actually goes in this direction so that the ozone isn't drawn through the fan, and therefore it protects the actual driver that's inside the fan from actually getting wrecked by the ozone. And this fan is actually a mains powered one, so again that just comes straight off the mains connection. Let's have a little closer look at the ozone generator plates. So in this design there are two ozone generator plates. These ones are made of ceramic rather than glass in the DIY design, but basically it's exactly the same. We have the HV coming in, going onto the electrode on the top surface, and then if we try and have a look underneath, we have an electrode that covers the entire bottom surface connected to the other side of the HV supply. So exactly the same as our sandwich of glass with foil each side, but instead of one continuous piece of foil, it's got this sort of electrode design with the strips going across it in a linear fashion. So it looks like my unit is fitted with the slightly lower output ozone generator plates. You can see this is the same design that I've got in my unit. Anywhere up to 3.5 grams per hour of ozone out. And you can buy these individually if your electrodes start to wear out. So $4.49 for a replacement plate. The higher output version has slightly more metallic area, but it still has all of these gaps between the metallic parts to allow the ozone to actually escape. Slightly more expensive, not really any reason for it to be that much more expensive, but you can buy those to replace them as needed. You can get the entire module, and then we've got some specifications here which give an insight into what the HV generator actually is. So the transformer provides up to 3.5 kV output, anywhere up to 50 watts input power. Now you do have to be extremely careful when you expose an area to ozone. Is particularly irritable to your respiratory tract, And obviously there is high voltage involved, so you do have to be very careful with these devices. Make sure that you're not in the room when they're on, or that any pets are in the room either. Having said that, let's power this up and have a little look at these ozone generator plates. And there you can see the corona discharge. It really is quite a beautiful colour and particularly potent. So this is a lot more ozone being generated than my very small units. So yeah, it's a little look inside a purpose-built ozone generator unit. Really not a lot going on. The general principle is always going to be the same. You need to create some corona discharge between two electrodes that are energized at high voltage, and that's exactly what this unit does. It just is built into a case that isn't going to degrade in presence of ozone. If you want to have a look at some of these units, you can click on the links down below in the description. Always be careful with these devices, and until next time, thanks for watching.